Well, it's been an absolute disaster, isn't it? Relegation confirmed defeats on Sunday left Leicester second and bottom in the Premier League with 18 points from 33 games. Manager Ruud van Nistelrooy replaced Steve Cooper at the King Power Stadium in November, taking 4 points, Gabby, from his first 2 games at the helm before a dismal run of form saw Leicester take only 4 more points in the following 18 league games. 38-year-old Leicester legend Jamie Vardy, Jamie took to social media to give his thoughts, and I quote, "At this point I don't even know what to say. No words can ever express my feelings of anger and sadness with the way the season has gone. There's no excuses. Collectively, as players and as a club, we have failed. There's simply no hiding, and I refuse to entertain any suggestion of doing so. Having been at this club for so long, we've experienced so many highs and successes, and this season has been nothing but miserable, and for me personally, a total embarrassment. It hurts, and I know you're feeling it too. To the fans, I'm sorry, very sorry we haven't performed, and sorry we end the 2025 season with such a, open brackets, expletive, close brackets, show." We're now going to bring in talkSPORT Midlands correspondent and Leicester fan Geoff Peters. Geoff, a very, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Geoff.
I mean, it's just been, I think Jamie Vardy's kind of summed it up there, Geoff, hasn't he?
To be honest, when Jamie Vardy is in front of goal, you expect him to hit the target, and he absolutely hit the target with his words yesterday. I think it was a few days, maybe a week after the last relegation that it took him to find the right words to voice his frustration. But I think all Leicester fans will have, who absolutely love Jamie Vardy, will have read those words and go, it hurts him. It really hurts him. And it has just been an utter disaster of a season. And, the honesty that Vardy shows there is fantastic, given the absolute mess that has gone on at the club, not just this season, but over the last 2 or 3 years.
What, Geoff, it's a $6 million question, but what is it? A combination? It clearly will be a combination of things. But what to you has been the biggest problem this season?
Well, they haven't kept enough clean sheets, and they haven't scored enough goals. It really is as simple as that. But you can dig deeper and look at how the club has been run over the last 2 or 3 years. The awarding of some ridiculous contracts and wages to players, some of who have barely featured this season, some of whom have not put in acceptable performances. It just feels a disconnect between the board, the club, the players and the fans. Let me make it clear. Leicester supporters are unbelievably grateful for the incredible ride that they've had over the past decade or so, with the Premier League win, the FA Cup win, a Champions League quarter-final, another European semi-final, a couple of fifth-place finishes. It has been insane, and fans are grateful for that. However, people towards the top of the club and in key positions have taken their eye off the ball, and it's led to 2 relegations in 3 years. Relegation this season is less of a surprise, but a couple of years ago, with the likes of Barnes and Tielemans and Maddison, that was a disgrace that squad went down. But this season, in terms of performances and results, that has been a different kind of disgrace.
Do you know what baffles me as well is that Leicester 9 games at home without scoring in an era where penalties are given so easily. Do you know what I mean? It's baffling to say not even to get a penalty in them games, but to not score in 9 home games with the firepower that they've got. Jamie Vardy, Daka's a good player, Mavididi on the wing as well. They've got some good attacking players. Baffles me, Geoff.
Yeah, El Canouse, and you've got Buenanote on loan, who, surprisingly hasn't been given more game time by Ruud van Nistelrooy. Something's clearly gone on there. 9 games, doesn't matter what division, you lose 9 home games in a row and you don't score. It's really tough to take for supporters. But you look at 16 defeats in 18 overall. It's almost beyond belief how bad it has been, particularly since Christmas. I mean, it wasn't brilliant before Christmas, but certainly since the turn of the year, the lack of goals and the lack of quality on the pitch has just been so bad. So bad. And those fans that spend their hard-earned money going to try and get behind the team, and you want something to cling on to as a supporter, but you're going to, if you perhaps you don't go to the away games, you just go to the home games, and they've not had a league goal since December.
Crazy.
Incredible.
Just, it's nuts.
Geoff, while we're depressing you, we might just as well depress the Leicester fans even more for the next couple of minutes. What a result for Forest again, mate. I mean, I actually looked at that game and I thought it became a must-win for them.
Yes.
And a good victory, a comfortable victory, mate.
Yeah, it obviously it is pretty grim being a Leicester fan. Although I remember coming on with you and Laura after we won the FA Cup, and I didn't know what day it was, I didn't know what state I was in. But in terms of joy at the moment, obviously you've got Leeds and Burnley who have been promoted, could both end up getting 100 points, and people are thinking about how they're going to do next season. Just let them enjoy the celebrations. And as for Forest, I think that was the biggest result of the season for Forest, because they went into it having slipped out of the I think they were sixth going into the game, so they just dropped down a few places. Results had gone against them at the weekend, and we know that Tottenham are incredibly vulnerable this season. They're having a great run in Europe, but certainly in the Premier League, they're fifth from bottom, Spurs, so it's not that difficult. I mean, even Leicester won at Spurs this season. That's how bad Spurs can be. But Forest are a really good team, and the fact that they'd seen all their rivals for the Champions League win, apart from Newcastle, that is, of course, who lost to Aston Villa. But I think that's massive, and they did it with they've done it this season, Forest, with a possession of lower than 40%. I think when the Premier League, it was about 42%. So you don't have to have the ball. It's what you do with the ball. Forest are so incredibly effective, and when they get their noses in front in games, they are so difficult to peg back. And obviously the game started really well for them. They were 2-up within a quarter of an hour through Anderson and Chris Wood again, who's having the season of his life. And you look at the games coming up for Forest after this. They've got 11th place Brentford, 12th place Palace. Yeah. They've got Leicester at home, so that's an easy 3 points. They've got fourth bottom West Ham. Yeah. You look at the last game against Chelsea. That could be key.
Oh, that'll be a big game.
Really good. But I think there's enough there for Forest to look at and go, yeah, there are some big teams around us, the likes of Newcastle, Man City, Chelsea, Villa, etc. But I think Forest can look at those games and go, if we keep doing what we're doing, we've got as good a chance as anybody.
I think all the teams chasing Champions League, the form they've been in, every game's a must-win tonight. Aston Villa must win. That's the mentality you've got to have if you're going to get into the Champions League this season. And Forest approached that game, especially the first 15-20, as a must-win. They were more aggressive. Anderson was on top, wasn't he? He was everywhere, scored a great goal. So they've just got to continue it every game.
And the other thing that's sort of impressed me, at times there is a bit of a never say die spirit. You had a player like Harry Toffolo, who doesn't start all the games and occasionally will come off the bench, occasionally will start. Really good pro, and clearing the ball off the line, stretching every sinew. And we saw it against Manchester United. There was Murillo clearing off the line. There have been other occasions this season, but it just seems that all of them are prepared to dig deep for the cause. They went for it last night. They got their reward. Maybe a touch of luck on occasions, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a bit of touch of luck. But over the season, they are where they deserve to be in the table. And like when Leicester won the Premier League and everyone was saying, well, Spurs will catch them, or Arsenal will catch them, or Liverpool will catch, one of the established big teams will catch them, and Leicester just carried on doing it. I think Forest have got enough in their armoury. There's 3 points between Forest, Newcastle, Man City, Chelsea, and Villa. It's insane, but there's absolutely no reason why Forest can't get into that Champions League spot.
I don't disagree, Geoff. Geoff, you keep smiling. Thanks very much, Geoff, again for your input. Really, really appreciate it. Now, coming up, continue the promotion party here on talkSPORT. Burnley and Leeds fans, you know the drill. 03717 22 33 444. Give us a call. Stay with us.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.